Guys, welcome back. I'm kind of doing a part two to the first video because I think people thought that people were just really mean to me or something. And it was a lot more than that. I formally quit and had a discussion with the parties involved doing anything other than working with the Norse or possibly the Greek pantheon. So I no longer participate in any form of voodoo or anything. And let me tell you why. I grew up in a heavily racist area. It still is. The neighbors are nice to me because I fit in, and they consider me white, whatever that means exactly, I'm not sure. But they say things that are really meant to be sweet and helpful. Like, I had painted a Saint Fiacre statue earlier this spring, I think. I don't know if I still have the video up, but I painted it right for Papa Lakeba. And the neighbor that used to help me all the time came over and says, "Oh, that looks good, but you forgot to paint the face black." And I was just like, "You did not just say that." And I was like, "Oh, yeah. How about that? Silly me, I forgot." And I'm like, it doesn't even look like a lawn jockey. Oh my God. And the same thing. I was casually talking to my friend, and I said, I wouldn't care what. And I didn't say specifically, I just said I wouldn't care what I found in my DNA if I had one of those tests. "You wouldn't?" And I'm like, what is it that she doesn't want to find? I kind of don't want to know because I'm not assuming anything here. Wow. And it is a very heavily racial area. It's mostly white because the Klan is here, and they have a habit of setting people's houses on fire. Now, I don't think that's right. My mother was very accepting. She loved everyone. She would have loved Jack the Ripper. She loved everyone. She didn't care what you did. She didn't care what color you were, what planet you came from, anything. People were people. She loved everyone. She was a very nice woman. My father, on the other hand, thought that Hitler was misunderstood and he should have won the war. Yeah, so I was raised between those two extremes, and when I finally did quit working with the spirits, because I had taken time off before because I'd always struggled with feeling I didn't fit in. And it wasn't like a feeling of, oh, I'm superior. It was, there were like hundreds of years of slavery here. Let's not sugarcoat things. There's no reason for me to be here. I've just always carried that. And I was like, I can't anymore. I can't carry it anymore. Slavery will still exist, but I can't carry this anymore. I can't do this. We can't all pretend it's okay or that I can deal with it anymore. And that's basically what it came down to. And you have to follow what's right for you. Had I been raised with two more enlightened parents, had my parents, both been either accepting or not giving a crap, I would probably have vastly different viewpoints. I remember when I was a little girl, I liked Michael Jackson. Oh my God. I was with my mother in the mall. I still remember this day, and I saw one of Michael Jackson's tapes on a teeny tiny little girl, and I was so excited. Michael Jackson. My father came up, and the only thing that kept me from getting hit was my mom was standing there. My father was ready to kill me because Michael Jackson was black. Yes, he was black. And he had, what's it called, vitiligo? That the skin goes white. I have kind of like the same problem, but I break out in like spots, cafe au lait spots all over the place. And then I get different other patches. But my father was ready to kill me. And he had what he thought were legitimate reasons, which I don't want to get into. That is his stuff to unpack wherever he is. And he's dead, by the way. And Loki sat me down, and he's like, "Is this the right thing to do?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's the right thing to do, because I've never, in a decade, I've never been able to say I would have never owned a slave. I would have been an abolitionist, but you still can't say that because, it comes off as racist. to say that you would have been an abolitionist. I would have, so would have my mom, but you don't get the place to say that, if you know what I mean. It comes off as racist. And I do think we're overly PC, and I do think it should be up to the gods who they work with. I really don't care if you're red, green, or blue and you want to work with the Norse pantheon. But it's like, there's that guilt there. There's that, you can never put that down. You can never put down what happened in the past, even though you didn't participate in it, and you would have done everything in your life to stop it. I mean, I'm from the North, I'm from the South. No offense to Southern viewers, but you know what I mean. I was raised with Northern values. I was raised, this is why we fought, this is so forth and so on. And as you go on, you find out that people are people, and unfortunately, racism it's a lot worse up here than it might be in parts of the South, because like I said, this is clown country. And they don't like Catholics either. They used to light crosses on a hill not far from here, and the farmer would let them. And people would bring Klan literature to school for show and tell. That the Methodists around here are actually friendly to me is because the Methodists around here have mellowed the fuck out, and they aren't like they used to be. They used to throw rocks at us at school. It was a thing. It happened because we were Catholic, and everybody knew Catholics ate babies. I don't know where they got that, but that is what they believed. And so you get all that, and you bring it into when the spirits call you. And I think that the spirits kind of have a trouble understanding what that's like, having to carry that uniquely, because they're spirits, and you know, they never had people throw rocks at them because they were taught that Catholics answer to the Pope, and therefore they must all be stoned to death, and they also eat babies. And they've never been through, you know, having people make jump decisions based on what you, what they perceive your background to be. And I was like, I know you called me, and I appreciate it, but I've tried for a decade, and it's something I never got comfortable with. And it was something that every time you try to explain it to people, you do come out sounding like a total racist. You do. If you say something like, I would have been an abolitionist, or I would have been whatever, or my family wasn't even here at the time, you come off sounding like a racist. And I had to struggle with that after I said, you know, did the formal thing. I was like, I'm very, very sorry, but this is not working out. I'm honored you know, you were working with me. And I had to struggle with that because my father tried to groom me into the perfect racist. He tried to groom me into the perfect racist because, you know, he was sure that reason and logic would win the day, and we would, it sucks to say, we will one day have the perfect country, and there would be a lot of people that would be gone. And he wanted me to remember that I was from the best race possible, which really, really sucks. And I never adopted any of those feelings. It just made me feel yuck inside when he would talk that way. But, you know, you don't get over stuff like that. And sometimes in your head, you still hear things that the parental unit would have said. That's why a lot of times I call him Biodad, because I don't really see him as my father. You hear what he would have said in your mind. He was the most jackbooted racist on the planet. You know, besides being abusive and hating homosexuals and everything else. And as hard as I tried it, as much as the spirits helped, it never got better. You can do enough damage with your belief system that you totally screw other people up for their entire lives. And, you know, I'm not happy that things came to an end. But they kind of had to. And because, you know, you don't want to be in that place where you're accused of cultural appropriation when you're just trying to be nice and follow the example your mother said, where my mother loved everyone and everyone was equal, you know. And you get to the point where you're like, okay, just for my sanity, I'm going to do this and this, and I'm going to stick with this, because as far as I know, no one can walk up to me and say, how dare you, because, you know, as far as I know, German people worship the Norse gods because they're Germanic, and then Norse is actually seen as subset and so forth and so on. But yeah, it kind of sucks to have to come to that decision, but I was getting more and more depressed, and it was worse and worse and worse, and no matter what I did, I just never felt part of the family and my spirits, even though Papa Ogo would be really sweet and he'd say he was my father, but I didn't feel that way. I'm trying not to cry, but I didn't feel that way because of the way my bio dad treated me, and you know, the damage was done. It was never a case of me feeling superior. It was me feeling, I can never be with you. Don't you realize how totally damaged and messed up I am? Yeah, like, yeah, I could never accept it because it felt like something I didn't deserve and have a right to. So that's actually where I'm coming from on that. So I know people are going to blow this out of proportion. We'll lose a lot of viewers. But I kind of wanted to clear that up so you guys know. And they actually, the spirits that I talked to took it well. Ogu's very logical and he's very calm, and, you know, he respected my decision. He had a few choice words to say about my father that I completely agreed with, but, you know, when someone messes you up that bad, sometimes for the rest of your life, you have stuff to deal with. And I don't know if it would have worked out any differently if I would have had two, very warm and supportive, loving parents. I'll never know that. My dad hated every race on the planet. He hated every religion on the planet. He hated, you know, gay people, whatever. He hated so much about me. But the bad thing was, the first thing I thought of when I finally, you know, did the formal goodbyes, is my father might actually kind of be proud of me a little. He might actually overlook that gay thing and be kind of proud of me now. And that just sucked, because I felt like a horrible human being, because I never wanted to be like him or win his approval. So, yeah, I am okay. I am unpacking a lot of garbage. I'm remembering what a horrible human being he was, but I am okay. So if you guys like what you see other than this video, because I know it probably makes me look like a horrible person, like, comment, subscribe. I get that a lot of people are going to tell me I shouldn't have left. People tried to help me before. And it's, unless you've been through it, you don't realize what it's like, because you kind of always have that voice in your head. And it wasn't just listening to him. When you go into Vut I, there are a lot of people that are pushing you back out for your religion, being gay, whatever. And that's alright. I get it. I totally respect that. If, you know, the situations were reversed and centuries of slavery had happened, I could see that position, so I respect it. And, I just honestly think it's for the best from here on out. It doesn't mean I don't still love those spirits or respect them or respect people that work with them. It just means it didn't work out in my case, because I survived the horror of being raised by my father, and I just can't. Seriously can't. It was like being raised by the Nazi Party is what it was like. In fact, my father was very fond of Nazis. Suspiciously so. And we're third generation of this family, so we didn't have anything to do with them, but it does make you wonder. It was kind of like having Hitler raise you as a child. Okay, guys, yeah, I might as well laugh, because you shouldn't cry, right? I will see you later. Bye-bye.